Hello everyone, my name is XSIV, and today we are going to be doing something a little bit different, which is a server review. So, before we, really started to focus in on Hypixel Skyblock, this channel primarily focused on prison. And today that's what we're going to be doing again. We're going to be on a prison server. More or less, this video is just going to let you know, as someone who has never played the server before, whether or not it's really worth playing, or at least to check out. But yeah, we're gonna get into the pros and cons of it. So here we are on Cosmic, which is a pretty veteran, established prison server. This thing has been around for a while. While the server has been around for a long time, I am a new player to it, and I'm gonna let you know how my first experiences were. So here we are in the lobby, which looks amazing. It's space themed. Even has the low gravity, which is awesome. There's 3 different servers. We are playing on Sahara, which is the newest one, but as you can see, there's a very established community in the rogue prison. So here we are in the spawn. Also, once it fully loads in, the building on this server, it looks phenomenal. It's such a, amazing looking server. Okay, so the pros of the server. It's pretty balanced when it comes to the PvE, which is very important to progression. If you go to /mine, there are the mines which you can mine at for ore and to make money. And then you also have the Badlands, which is the PvE areas, where you fight monsters, which kill you pretty quickly. You typically don't survive long in there. It's more so of like a go in there, kill like 5 to 10 mobs, die, and then get a ton of XP from killing them, then go back to mining, since there is a 5-minute cooldown on the PvE. Let's go hop into one of the mines so I can show you what the mines look like. They're actually really cool. We can go to the gold mine now that I've unlocked it. And then we're going to explain to what that giant portal is over there. It's very exciting. So here we are. You always start off by just dropping into a mine. There is no fall damage. And then although this is a picnic basket, this is actually the skin we have for our pickaxe. So when you click on them, you'll see there's a little star that appears when you hit them. And that star is actually a critical spot. So when you go to break the block, hitting it in the little star area will do, I guess not really more damage, but it will break the block much faster. So especially in the early game, you really want to focus on trying to aim at those. And you even get a streak going. If you look in the bottom, if I can get one real quick, they'll say crit streak is at 3. It's not really that important, but it's a little extra benefit for continually hitting the critical spots. And as you saw there, we had one of our enchants proc, which just broke all the blocks around it. We also have one called Fireball or Super Ball, which when you hold right click, shoots out a little ball, bounces around, gets a lot of ore. It's really cool. Okay, so that's the mining. As you can probably tell immediately, this is not an OP server. It is classic prison. Although it does get a little bit OP in the later stages. Like, if you look at our pickaxe, it has quite a few enchants on it. Not like a ton, nothing too crazy. We're like mid-gamey. And it makes mining go a lot faster. As well as the mining in the PvE, there's also some other game modes. My favorite by far being Prison Break. Prison Break really feels like an OP prison game mode, but you only participate in it for 10 minutes. It's essentially a competitive OP prison, which is interesting. If you do /PB for Prison Break, there's 3 different ones that rotate every so often. The next one starts in 34 minutes. And then rounds typically last 10 to 15. This is right there, 15 minutes. And depending on how well you rank on the leaderboard during the event, you get points, which is this. The Prison Break shop, which you can get some really insane items from here. Like, these boxes are crazy. So if there's a Prison Break coming up, you should definitely do it. It's also super fun. And in terms of progression, I'd say the server's actually pretty good. It's a bit slower than what you're probably used to, but it does make the progression feel a lot more meaningful. Like, getting these enchants on the pickaxe really feels like you're taking a really big step. Like, for instance, when you first get your lucky, it you can immediately feel the difference when you're mining. As well as some of the other ones, like Powerball. That's the one that you shoot. Like, when I first unlocked that, that's like the most fun enchant I've ever had. They just go bouncing around the mine. Speaking of enchants, let's actually go and do some of that real quick. I don't think we have enough, but I do want to... Here, I'll go grind real quick so we have enough essence. Or, it's called cosmic energy. We're going to go grind some real quick so we can get another enchant so I can show you what it looks like. So we are going to go do the PvE real quick. Ignore that giant red wall. I don't know why that's there, but it just is. And then we're going to try to get our cosmic energy from this so we can go add an enchant onto our pickaxe. So in the Badlands, you're going to encounter these bandits. Typically, they will just run right at you. These guys seem to not be super aggressive today. But as soon as you start hitting one, they'll stick onto you. Here we go. So he drops some money as well as some cosmic energy. So we're going to grind some out real quick and see if we can get enough to enchant the pickaxe. There we go. Okay. When you die, you get sent back to spawn. And don't worry if your equipment breaks. All you have to do is put it in your hotbar, go to the magical portal, and drop it in. It's going to go in. It's going to go up. It's going to come back down. Nice and fixed, and then you get it back. You can re-equip those. And then as well as if an item hasn't completely broken yet, you can just do /fix. There you go. So from that grind, we got 600,000 cosmic energy, which is more than enough. We only needed like 100,000, but you know. So let's grab it. Let's add it onto the pickaxe. And now as you can see, it says 100% on the bar for cosmic energy. Now you can grab your pickaxe, throw it into the hole. It's going to fly in there. It's going to show you your current enchants. And it's going to throw some of the new ones that you're able to get. We actually got really lucky because I can see we got lucky too. With a pretty high success rate. 71 is really high for this good of an enchant. Typically it's like, 12% like this one is. It's like single digit to like 10 to maybe 20. 71's actually really lucky, so let's see if we hit it. We do. Nice. That's a huge improvement to our pickaxe. That's really good. And that's how you get these enchants. It's just getting that cosmic energy and then choosing which one you want to roll for. If it does fail, all it does is you can see on it, I have 16 failures on this pickaxe. All it really does is it takes up a level slot. Which just means like as you upgrade the pickaxe, it gets more and more expensive every time you enchant. So even if it fails, it will still go up in price as if it passed. There are certain powders you can collect that can actually improve the odds of things passing. I don't think I have any at the moment. We can check our vaults real quick. Like right here, Mystic Dust. So whenever like the options come out, if there's one that I really want, I can throw the dust in there as well, and it'll improve all of them by 22%, which is pretty nice. But yeah, so that's how the enchantment works on this server. I think it is a really cool, like, different way of doing enchants. It's not just, pull up a menu and then put 1,000 points into something. It's a lot slower, but it's a lot more rewarding as well. And it's really cool seeing the animation. It really feels like something big is happening every single time you go for an enchant. Oh, another pro about the server is that even as a free-to-play player, you can get some pretty good things. For instance, we have this godly contraband that we get for free from a fragment that we opened. I was hoping we would get some during the PvE, but we didn't get any, so unfortunately I can't really show them. All it does is a fragment. When you click on it, it'll roll. It has an animation and everything. It rolls through, gives you typically, it's either money or cosmic energy. Sometimes you can get crates. Like this one, we got a godly contraband from one. I haven't opened it yet, although maybe I will for this video. You know what, here, we'll just throw it. You can see what it looks like. Items come flying out, and then it's going to start deleting them, and only 3 of them are going to stay. I don't know what that chest is, but I kind of want it. Anything with, like, what was that, fireworks? Ah, rip. So, we got some legendary enchants, a million cosmic energy, and then a kill, I guess you can call it animation. Like, if I use this, then it will just have that in chat. We got some mystery legendary enchants. This is the other way you can enchant gear. This is typically more for your actual armor and sword rather than pickaxe, because those, you can't actually enchant these the same way you do the pickaxe. You don't throw it into the thing, into the portal, you use this. So for instance, that one gave us Rejuvenate 1, which is actually really good. So then what we would do is, if you see on it, instead of pass and fail, it's enchant or destroy. So in cases with the books, it can actually completely just delete the item if it fails. Luckily, they have things called white scrolls, which protect it from being destroyed. Like when it says right there, when applied to gear, you keep the item when it would usually be destroyed. So make sure you're using white scrolls when you're doing these kinds of enchants. And I'd say probably the final pro is that just the amount of depth into the game. It's almost overwhelming, which we'll go over in the cons, that there's just so much to do in the server. Like if you just look in like at chat whenever stuff is happening, there's like always events going on or something crazy. Like you'll see like, oh, a meteor's falling here, or or what's it called? An alien invasion's happening here. Hey, it's time for a prison break. Oh, there's a new event. There's a lot going on. There's also a lot of depth to the progression itself. It's not just, enchant, also getting good armor. It's about getting, where are they? You look here, there's the charge orbs, which you can throw onto the pickaxe, just like prestiging, which you can do on the pickaxe. There's just a lot to look forward to and to really try to progress. So if you like the grind and if you like unlocking all these new avenues of progression, the server is amazing for you. So now it is time to talk about the cons, and there are a few. It's not too bad, but we'll get into them. The first one is that the server can be a bit hardcore compared to other prison servers. There is lose inventory in the PvP area specifically. If you go to mine, if you look here at the maximum security PvP pit, if you die in here, anything you're wearing or that you have in your inventory is just gone forever. You can't get it back. So for a prison server, which typically prison servers are very casual, it's kind of a hardcore one. As well as even when you're in the mines, like the mine that we were in earlier, you can technically get killed by someone else. They do have the wardens, which always stand guard and will try to protect you whenever someone hits you, like this guy. I'm actually not sure in the mine. I don't think you lose your inventory in the mine. I hope you don't. But it is technically a possibility. I've never been attacked once. I don't think people really try to, but it's there. Like it is a possibility. And the other con being that it is not an OP prison server, which has essentially become the norm. Every prison server has become an OP prison server. This is not an OP prison server. It's a lot slower. It's a lot more, I guess, meaningful in the upgrades, which I like. It's a really nice change of pace, but it's not for everyone. A lot of people like to, go super fast and like blowing up, 100 block squares and having explosions go off and all these different kinds of animations. You're not really going to get that with this, but that's not inherently a bad thing. I think a lot of times in OP prison that a lot of the numbers are way overinflated, because then it just feels so arbitrary and like meaningless, where it's like, ah, man, I only have $7 septillion when I need 23 non-nillion. Like numbers become like not even, like you can't even comprehend them. They're just, how many extra zeros can you add? That's the one thing I do like about this, is that in the economy, like right now I have $8 million most of that was gifted to me by someone who paid, but for me, 8 million's a lot. I know for like the high-end people, that's absolute chump change, but I'm glad that it typically stays in the millions and billions. I think even billions gets a bit too big, but it's better than some other servers. I hate trying to sell items and having to like count out how many zeros I'm trying to add. I know I said earlier that the progression I think is really good. It gets better, especially once you figure out that PvE is a must. Like you should be doing PvE to get your levels up because you get so much more XP in the PvE than you do mining. But the beginning is still pretty slow. It takes a while, but like once you get your first G kit, which you can do very easily as a free to play player, there's a lot of different options. You can even buy one off the auction house if you really want to. Which, by the way, they have an auction house. It's pretty cool. I wish they would optimize it. You can't search by price, which kind of hurts. But it's still nice to have one. And when you have a server that's this, you know, has this much depth and this many things to focus on, it can get scary. It can get confusing and overwhelming. So like if you just type in /help to put it into perspective, they have 10 pages of everything. It is crazy how much stuff is going on at this server every second. Like even here, like it says a meteor dropped. Like yeah. And someone summoned a meteor. There's one crashing here. There's boss fights. There's all these different events, and it can really seem like too much. And I don't think any player is able to keep up with all these different events going on. And then the final con, which I'm sure everyone saw coming because it's a prison server, is the pay to win. Just like your typical prison server, it is incredibly pay to win. You can purchase a single box for like, I mean, they are kind of expensive. I know the most recent one was the Valentine's Day box. I think it was like $60. Maybe it was like 100. But if you open that, you pretty much just got everything you could ever want. It would get probably like a couple 100 million cosmic energy, a couple $100 million, a really insane G kit, or at least like a gear set, some insane items, you know, like you're pretty much just like decked out. Like you're completely stacked after you open up that one box. Which I mean I think kind of defeats the purpose of it, because then you kind of just like instantly progress through the game. But it is pay to win, so just a heads up there. But yeah, I think that's actually going to wrap it up. I think I got in what I wanted to say about the server. Should you give it a try? I say absolutely. I think it is a phenomenal server, a great change of pace, and it looks like there's a lot of dedication and love put into the server. Especially with the animations. I still can't get over how cool it looks when you throw your pickaxe into the portal to do the enchants. It's a bit slow, but I think it's really fun. That's going to be it for today's video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Take care.